Hi, gang.
Hello, hello.
Hi, guy.
Welcome.
My guy.
My guy. Hey there, my guy.
Hey there, my guy.
It is the 4th.
Oh,
of the
Lord. I'm
year.
nervous.
Yeah.
I
It's the
am.
4th. We're not going to find out at all
No, we
who
won't.
wins the presidency tomorrow. I guarantee you that.
No.
Yeah.
But it's so frustrating because I want to be like way more elevated about the subject and be like,
Yeah.
God's got this and he's in control and maybe we need another 4 years to suffer, and all of that. But at the same time, you panic. Like in the
It's
inside,
gonna
I'm
be a
like, these
shit
people
show.
are saying that it's a close race. There's no way it's a close race. I mean, I don't see that that's. You think that's real, that it's a close race?
No. I think they're gearing up for some tomfoolery.
Right.
Some real
Damn tomfoolery.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
is tomfoolery a real person? Wasn't that the singer of like a 70s band, Tomfoolery?
No, maybe it was a song.
Maybe.
Tomfoolery means like it's gonna be some bogus stuff going on. It's
Right.
gonna be some fake stuff going on.
Well, so my theory, and I actually got this from Squirrel Tribe Lady, which I watch her sometimes. She's just a chick like me with a camera that's always bitching about politics.
Oh yeah.
But she was saying that she really feels as though they're acting like it's a close call so that when they push Kamala through as the president, people will be like, oh, well, but it was a close call. You know what I mean? But those of us who aren't idiots would know it's not a close call.
Yeah.
Where do you look that you see Kamala? There were rallies all up and down the street in South Lake and Grapevine, or Trump signs and honk.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any Kamala people honking.
No, I haven't
Have
seen
you?
any rallies of Kamala people out there.
I mean, there's Kamala signs, but I haven't seen
I've
people
seen Kamala
honk for
signs.
Kamala or
I
anything.
don't know. I can't. I think they're gearing up already. For some tomfoolery for sure.
Rough.
Like I was saying, Nancy she's already got lawyers on hand ready to file lawsuits if Trump says that he won and he didn't win.
Well, and what's so interesting about that is that they always say that Trump is the one who wouldn't give it up and that kept saying that it was fraud and all of that kind of stuff. But really, they've always done it. They've always done the same thing. Yeah, especially now. I mean, can you imagine
opponent of what you're doing?
Yes, exactly.
That's their protocol.
The inverse world or whatever
ridiculous.
It's called. And don't you think it's so interesting too, like the amount of money, and actually Fetterman, who was on Joe Rogan the other day.
You watched the whole
thing.
It
was such a crazy interview.
Yeah,
I was telling you, it made him look even stupider than he actually is.
I saw some clips.
Yeah, it was a mess. But he did make the point of all the money that goes into politics and like what do they call
Super
them?
PACs.
Super PACs and all the advertisement, that there should be a cap on that, because think of all the money that could all that money that they're gearing up to sue Trump for and all that kind of stuff could be helping their constituents, like their actual people in their states and stuff.
What I don't understand is they keep saying that Kamala's out earned Trump with donations,
which has to be just the George Soros people.
Well, yeah, it's all the super wealthy corporate donors and stuff like that but like I don't know, how that makes a significant difference in who wins the election.
Oh, I don't think it does.
As far as like, we've raised more money.
Yeah.
So what's the money for? Ads?
Yeah, TV ads and ads and interviews.
Does that really matter when you get down to the grassroots and more people want to vote for the other candidate?
Well, I think they're saying that because they're trying to make, at all costs, they try to make him look stupid. And like nobody actually oh my gosh. There's just so much that they do to make him look like a fool.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that reminded me, this New York Post. Did you see the New York Post journalist get up and leave? He quit the Post on air. Washington Post, actually. It wasn't New York, it was Washington Post. Sure. But they have a live show chat or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
And I guess one of them were starting to report that it was about the suing of the elections and saying that, Donald Trump took these people to court and he wouldn't secede or all that kind of stuff. And the other journalist that also worked for the same TV station said, listen, if we're going to tell the truth, let's actually say what this was about. The Republicans found this fraudulent voter situation,
really?
took them to court, and the Supreme Court ruled in their favor, in Trump's favor.
Huh. What state was there? Was it Virginia, the West Virginia thing, where he was taking people off the voter polls that weren't supposed to be on there?
It may have been.
Because I know the Supreme Court ruled in favor for Glenn Youngkin, I believe is the governor's name.
Mm-hmm. And they have been doing that, right? Yeah, They've been trying to weed out people that shouldn't be voting.
Yeah, they said the Department of Justice wanted to keep these people who weren't citizens on the voter roll. Dude, it's like, what?
Yeah, I know. And there's a lot of that. So yeah, it was a situation like that. But the left-leaning Washington Post was trying to report that it was like this negative thing. And so one of the journalists on the air was like this is not true. Done. I'm done. And he took his earpiece out and like walked off. And then I read up on it, and he really did quit the Washington Post.
He's like, I'm going to fucking Rumble.
Yeah, he outed it on. Actually, the interview follow-up that I saw was on Fox, so he'll probably be on Fox.
That, or like he'll pull my boy Glenn Greenwald and do his own Rumble channel. Glenn Greenwald is the shit.
Well, so did Candace Owens. So has the Rubin Report. That's a great one.
Those guys from the Gray Zone,
Max Blumenthal,
and Aaron Mate.
And that's
some great independent journalists. So check those people out.
Yeah. The Gray Zone is amazing. Yeah. But they shadow ban them constantly. I have to actually look for them. Isn't that crazy?
It's ridiculous, man.
I mean, what the hell? We need our freedom.
It's redonk.
Yeah. But anyway, so, the elections come up. I'm so excited and scared. I know.
I already voted.
I know.
Well, it's like I was trying to tell someone the other day, is like, I'm not, it's not that I'm voting for Trump. I'm voting for Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And he's got an Elon and all these people that I'm like, get these people in here, man. I'm like,
well, and like voting on the problems. I mean, it's amazing how quickly we move on, but all I have to do is remind myself about COVID and how much truth came out that they kept trying to push down. They weren't letting us make our own choices. They kept saying all these people were dying. They kept saying, we should all be vaccinated. That would take care of everything. I mean, that's usually what I just reference in my mind, that and the gender thing, like giving kids medicine to change their bodies. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 main points that I'm like, I'm not voting for the team that wants these things.
Yeah,
there's no way. I don't care. I mean, Trump, he is crude sometimes. He said, I mean, the more you get to know him, he's like the uncle that you gotta know.
I grew up around many people like that.
Me too.
It amazes me too
I know.
much.
So maybe, and it's interesting, I was actually going to talk to you about that, how it seems to be like the separation of people with a crude sense of humor and the ones that don't have it.
Yeah.
It's like basically that, because it's like,
seems like it. Yeah, you could probably split it up like that.
I know, like all the people
earmuffs.
Earmuffs. Yes, exactly. All the earmuff people are voting for Kamala.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true.
I can't handle it.
But anyway, and back to the voting thing, I heard somebody say, it was on Tucker, that guy on Tucker from yesterday who was talking about California going to shit and oh my God.
Bro. And the cartels.
Yeah, so he was talking about, so let's talk about that, because he was basically saying that the cartels run the whole shit show.
Yeah.
And that really the cartels and the prison gangs run the whole shit. Which I have heard prison gangs are very powerful, but I didn't realize that they were that powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the entire,
You're running the streets from a jail cell? How does that happen?
Well, but they are. And they're recruiting more and more kids, they're saying. In Georgia, there's a lot of Venezuelan gang, or people that are getting recruited.
That last time.
Yeah.
Last time, you were saying they're recruiting
young kids too, young Mexican kids
that are American to be a part of the Venezuelan gangs.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Which, if you think about it, is so easy to do. Look at the way people recruit young kids to do all kinds of stuff, right? Yeah. But then if they're like, if your town's saturated with this kind of violence again, I mean, it's so frustrating.
Well, remember what he was saying too about like how the old school gangs like the Crips and Bloods, they no longer push the drugs. Now they're more about stealing and heisting stuff.
The knock
because
thing.
because the foreign gangs are like even more dangerous and scarier, and they're like, this is our turf.
And what's crazy about it, Russ, is they were saying it's not just going to hit the underprivileged, that even the really rich in California are being robbed left and right.
Oh, I know.
They're doing home invasions.
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro said that him and his wife and then a couple that they know just the other day were in New York, and they were robbed. They took all their jewelry, all this stuff, and then it took like 30 minutes for the cops to even get there. And he said it was at 3rd Street, whatever that means, in New York. It was some nice area.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's gonna hit all these silly...
I bet Ben was like, this doesn't happen in Israel.
He's like, this is why I moved to Florida, damn it. But, I mean, he said he lived there his whole childhood and everything. But anyway, it's just so crazy because, it's so obvious that if it doesn't affect you, a lot of people are like, if it doesn't affect me, then I don't care.
But it will spread. Be smart. Like
Absolutely.
This will eventually spread.
My whole reason for voting for Trump
is
that it's going to spread, and we will see the results of these decisions. Period.
Yeah.
So 4 more years of it.
Lord Jesus. Dude, that was a wild one. That's why I said, I was like, this is a terrifying podcast episode.
The cartel thing, it's nuts, and it's true, and they all have all kinds of.
And they got their hands in Texas.
Oh, for sure. If you look it up, I mean, all the crime reports you can look up just here. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Houston, that's who it was. Houston.
Remember that Jocelyn Nongaria? I don't know if I'm saying her name right,
Probably
but that
not.
was the 12-year-old girl that was brutally raped and murdered.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Yeah, and that was in Houston.
Yeah. Well, look it up. Remember all the gang violence and sex trafficking that was already happening in Houston.
Yeah.
And now topple it with this.
Dude, it's just gotten worse.
So, and we are going to see it. I mean, it's just so interesting because every time I think about it and I start to sort of do that panic mode of, oh my gosh, I just always have to constantly remind myself, like, God's in control. He's like, the universe won't be surprised by this. Sometimes really shitty things have to happen for us to be pressured into doing the next right thing. Yeah. So, but man, it would be cool if he won by a landslide.
It would. Yeah, I would feel a lot safer.
I would too. That's true.
I definitely feel a lot safer. I just don't see. I don't know, man. And to be honest, I think his campaign has been
awesome.
Yeah, pretty on point.
Yeah.
Dude.
And that's what I'm saying. They keep saying to our lying eyes, you're like, no, don't believe your lying eyes. But every single,
it's neck and neck.
Everything we watch, he is just packed
He's
people
killing
in.
it.
He's killing it.
Wearing the safety vest. That
Yeah.
whole
I was just
situation.
gonna say the garbage truck thing.
Yeah, the garbage. Yeah. I mean, it's some serious. His campaign team's on point, dude. These guys are great.
And again, they're hilarious while they do it.
Yeah.
But you don't see that energy and that humanity and that sense of humor at all from her side.
Yeah.
And even if you watch her rallies and stuff, they don't look like Trump's.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
There's
I'm not there,
a difference from what I see for sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference.
So,
it seems like she keeps crashing and burning.
So don't you think then it's going to be one of those things where the reason why the mainstream media is projecting that it's such neck and neck is so they can lie? If
probably.
She wins? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, probably.
I hate that, but it's so funny because we still have such hope as Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He's just got such a dream team behind him now, too, man.
Yeah.
That he's accumulated. You know what I mean? Like some really great people that really care, that
are sincere people.
Big crush on Tulsi Gabbard.
I like her stripe, dude.
Yeah.
Her hair stripe is so
There's
cool.
some story about how she got it when she was in the service.
Oh, I don't.
So I was thinking she dyed it that way.
No, it's a natural. Lots of women, not lots, but some women will get that natural hair stripe. But you know what it always reminds me of is like Freddy Krueger. Remember when that girl had a nightmare and she wakes up with that stripe? Nancy.
Yeah.
That's a cool story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they said it was something that having to do with her being across seas or deployed.
They say it supposedly comes from
stress.
Fear and stress.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what Freddy Krueger says anyway.
Yeah. From Fear and Stress.
Yeah,
God, I hated that movie.
Oh, love it. We watched Poltergeist the other day. It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember you saying
Anyway,
that.
yeah. So
I figured Poltergeist would be one of those movies where you watch as you get older and you're like, this is goofy.
no, that's what I was so excited about because it was
wasn't.
done really, really well.
Huh.
And there was lots of stuff in it you didn't notice as a kid,
like
you
you're
know, but it was good. It was fun. Plus, it's Spielberg. So it was kind of like watching
I didn't realize
yeah,
Spielberg did that one.
yeah. So he's always got a good,
Yeah.
you know, plot and all that. We watched, what was that movie?
Taxi
Blew me
Driver.
Away. Taxi Driver. That was
That's
so
one of my all-time
good.
faves. Yeah.
I had no idea how good it was.
They don't make them like that anymore, man. It was more about the acting back in the day, you know?
Yes.
And the screenwriting.
Yes.
You know?
And the conversation.
And that was like real art.
I know.
That's why I mean movies today, I'm like,
but don't do that because there are some really cool movies today. Like
Yeah.
Shudder films and stuff. You can, and like the new A24 films, like the newer ones. There's also this one, you're talking about weird movies that are coming out, that's got Nicole Kidman in it. Have you heard about this?
I vaguely heard I heard there was some weird sex scene involved.
Yeah. So, well, they keep saying, like, the conservatives that I listen to, the podcast and stuff, they'll say that it's, like, gone so far that now, like, Nicole Kidman's in bed with a dog, apparently, in this movie, or some sort of dog-related
bestiality type thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I watched the previews. I'm not sure that it's going to be like that.
They're probably blowing
They
it out
might
of
be.
proportion.
I know. Like, can we just get a happy medium? But it looks cool because it's good acting. Although her face is plastic, so it really messes me up.
It's like more of an independent film type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instead of like.
But then you have to remind yourself.
Superheroes and CGI.
Yeah, green screen.
Remember when I told you yesterday, I was like, oh, so I heard they're doing a remake of Taxi Driver.
Oh, yeah.
Or a sequel.
Yeah, a sequel. I'm like, really?
Are they? That was back when De Niro was cool.
Dude, I had no idea. I don't think I've seen him.
Deer Hunter. You need to watch that one next.
I will.
He used to be the man. He was my favorite actor.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people talk about him, but I never knew that he could act like that.
He was very
like not
versatile.
a gangster.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen him in is he's a gangster, basically.
And Cape Fear. Come out wherever you are.
Yeah, that was a good one.
that was
a good one.
That scene was crazy.
Speaking of movies, I wanted to tell you I watched what's his name? He did Am I Racist?
Yeah, Matt Walsh. Yeah, I still haven't seen that.
You gotta get on to that.
Yeah, Joe Rogan
Daily
said it
Wire.
was incredible.
It was really eye-opening. It was done really well because not only is it make you think, it does make you think because it starts out with like real obviously history.
Yeah.
And he goes to, you know, a bunch of white people that are all woke and they are so racist. Like the way
woke people
yes,
yeah,
the way that they see the world is wild.
Blow up race and emphasize.
Oh my god! And then he went to like the poor people because we always say it's socioeconomical.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Socioeconomic.
Yeah. So that's more of the difference, right? Yeah. We all know if you grow up a certain way, you relate.
More about money.
Exactly. Yeah. So he goes to all the like poor white people and they feel the exact same way as the poor black people. Like he's the poor white people in Louisiana he interviews and then he goes to the poor black people the exact same way. They don't see color, they don't care, pull up a chair, let's have a beer, let's have a conversation. You know, it's not the way that we run our lives and all that. And then he gets in front of these really woke professors or even like the lady that wrote the book. It's a book that started this whole thing about white guilt. Mm-hmm. The way that she sees the universe and the difference in black people or brown people is incredibly eye-opening.
Really?
Yes.
Damn, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you'll have to log on and see, but I mean, use my little app and watch it. It's really good. Huh. But I wasn't sure how it was going to be because I'm not like the biggest fan of Matt Walsh just because, I mean, he's all right.
I think his dry comedy is hilarious.
I know, and Ryan really likes him too, but it was really well made.
His dry comedy, I'm just like, I can relate to it. Hardcore. I'm like, dude, this is great.
Yeah, he is very dry. Like he does not laugh for shit, man.
No, he can keep a straight face, man. He's good at it.
How is he acting?
And he started off doing videos in his car. Like, he was doing these videos in his car and posting
Really?
them, and then now I'm sure he's got some kind of, he probably has some kind of degree.
Like
journalism.
background?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
We'll have to look that up and see.
But yeah, he was doing videos in his car
Yeah.
for a while, and then he started, because I had seen him play one back, and he'll make fun of himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What is this? What is this haircut?
Well, he's come a long way.
Yeah.
Because he's got like a nice, studio and all that kind of stuff that he's producing. But yeah, I watched Ben Shapiro on Bill Maher, which I never stop at. The Bill Maher podcast is very rare.
He's so creepy.
He's gross.
He's so creepy.
But Ben Shapiro, I mean, the intelligence level compared to Bill Maher and how dumb stoned
was
he
it
acts.
the after hours
The
one
random
where he wants
house
to smoke pot all the time?
Yes.
And he's so into
constantly
it.
drinking.
He makes it his big
I mean,
thing.
the whole time he's drinking his shots and
Look at me, guys, I'm a pothead.
Yeah, I'm still a pothead. Well,
who cares?
I'm 60, I'm a pothead.
Yeah, who cares?
It's really weird. But his belief systems too, because it's like every time anyone makes a good point to him, he completely ignores it, like the whole world does. I don't understand.
Yeah.
You have to have some common sense.
Well, I watched a clip with him, and he had this couple on there that I had never heard of, and I think they're kind of big on social medias. And he was just talking about how the way men are made up to, like, they know within a certain amount of seconds if they want to sleep with a woman or not.
Oh, Lord.
And then like it changes, and this was a couple that were still together,
that probably have Christian values or something.
Well, I don't know, but they were from like teenagers, and he's like I can already tell I'd want to. He almost kind of was making a pass at his wife.
And he does that.
And I was like, dude, what a fucking dirtbag.
It's because he's so simple-minded. That's what's so interesting about all of these really woke, even like professional people, or I don't know. They think that they're so like smart and their minds are so open, and really they're so narrow.
Pretty narrow.
They're very I don't know. I don't get it.
It's strange. It's really strange.
Yeah.
I every time I see a clip from his show, I'm like, what? Like he had that Hawk Tua girl on. And I was like,
my God, it was so uncomfortable.
Yes.
She handled it really well. But
made me feel awkward.
Yeah, I know. He does that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super creepy dude, man.
But anyway, Shapiro was on there and it was great.
Yeah.
Just because he's smart and.
Yeah, I don't
challenge the guy.
Yeah, he will. He'll knock people down for show.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was such a genius.
Yeah, he's a very smart dude. I stopped listening to him. I feel like he's a little too Israel and not America. And I'm like, I mean, I worry about our country. No, not like that. But I'm just like, he's just so pro-Israel, almost to the point where it seems like he would rather, send money over there than fix problems over here.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Which is true. Like, he is very pro-Israel. There's it's so strange, the pro-Israel thing, because there's so many different reasons people have to be pro-Israel. It's just sad. You can't kill people. Like, we're not supposed to be killing each other like that.
Well, so that brings me to another thing. It's like I was watching how Kamala Harris was in Michigan, and she was being a panda bear to the Muslims in Michigan.
Oh, yeah. What was that about?
And then she went to, where was it? It was Pennsylvania. And she was in Pennsylvania being all pro-Israel. And
she was?
Yeah, so she was going back and forth in different areas depending on who, which is like, if I were running a presidential campaign, I would not try to, I don't understand this side choosing. You got to choose a side, one or the other. I would just be anti-war, period.
Right.
Let's come up with some
Which is
solutions.
what Trump is saying.
Yeah, let's not bomb the shit out of these people.
And she hasn't exactly said
let's
I'm anti-war.
protect this country.
She hasn't exactly. I mean, she'll say
It's a weird political game. It seems like
strange. We should dig into that some more because there's a lot of ties to Israel.
I would just be so like my big message would be like, let's come to solutions. Let's quit.
Well, that's what she's saying now.
Dying.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
So sad.
But instead, a lot of times they want to do this. Well, we got to protect these people, or they want to go one side or the other side, or one side, or then it's like, dude, how about we just get rid of
No
it all.
war. Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's what
That
the
would
thing
be-
is,
would
like
be
the normal principles, just no war.
Right.
Like, I think we can all, well, you used to be able to agree on that.
Most people want no war.
But not
The
the,
hippies
people
wanted
that's
no
not,
war.
not the people that aren't attached to it. That's
Yeah,
what's
because
so
they're making big
sad.
money.
Well, and they're not going to be affected by it the way everyone else
Everyone
is going to
else is,
be
yeah.
affected.
Yeah.
You know, just like this Cheney thing and how Kamala has, because you were just saying how many amazing people Trump has on his side, and I'm thinking, well, who does Kamala have? The Cheneys and
Yeah.
like the Obamas
Infamous
and people
for-
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like,
How do you?
you're right, that's not a good team.
No.
If you're going to team up with somebody,
Yeah.
why would you want to team up with those people? I don't get it. They're not
Because
teaming.
because they're the establishment, and
Right.
doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the thing, is like, what you know, Trump was trying to make a point, and then of course they twisted it where they were like, he said something about killing Liz Cheney or something like that.
I did watch
and he was
that.
saying what he meant was like, she's not going to go over there and fight the wars.
And get shot in the face.
Your children
or
are going
whatever.
to. You know what I mean? And
Of course, he said it all kinds of weird.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
No, I did see that actually, that
Yeah.
interview, and he did say something really funky like that. And then
But the point, you get the point.
Well,
It's
most
like-
people get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Talk
Until-
about not
until you
having
start
any
watching this.
nuances.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But they're going to send us to war. I mean, ultimately, it is about China. It is about Iran. It is about, I mean, they are going to send us to war.
Well,
We're in war.
Not if, I mean, not if we get the right people to work on changing that,
Right.
you know.
Like a foot in the door.
Yeah.
We need a pause button. We have to do something to pause. All of this stuff.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's like I was saying, when I was at my buddy's the other night, my friend was like, I know you're a hippie at heart, but you got these conservative views now. And I'm like, dude, I'm really, if anything, I think I'm more libertarian than anything, because I just don't want government intervention in my freaking life.
Right.
Dude. Like, just like Peanut the squirrel.
Yeah,
You
poor
know,
Peanut.
Bust in and take this dude's squirrel for, like, I think they said he had him for like 7 years.
7 years. And he's in New York. He rescued him
Just
off
let
the
a man,
sidewalk.
just let a man domesticate a squirrel.
I
Who's
don't
that
know.
hurting?
Nobody.
Oh, it makes me
you
so
let
angry.
him domesticate pit bulls, which are really scary.
Well,
dogs.
it's just
You know,
it's
or
another. It's all to my point of the whole, like, what they want to make these laws that aren't really to protect anybody, but to control situations. And
Absolutely.
I'm so sick of it.
Well, don't you think that's
So
an
over it.
age thing too? Is that you got to the point where
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah, absolutely.
okay, this
I'm a
doesn't
little
make
more-
any sense.
yeah. Yeah.
But what is your basis for life? Like, what is your foundation?
Yeah,
if you're
so
for
some kind of
open
foundation.
borders and for even changing children at a young age to be who they think they're going to be. Like, where's your foundation at that point? I don't really understand. I would like to understand it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it like that you just eventually evolve into like whatever your floats your balloon? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I guess there's some kind of moral clarity somewhere in there, but like,
That's
it's
what I'm
not.
wondering.
But you're wondering what source it comes from.
Yeah, well, what's the source and what is the moral clarity?
Just be a good person. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I guess so.
Just don't hurt other people.
Just be, that's so interesting you said that because they were talking, there was somebody else I was watching and they were talking about Illuminati and all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they said that the secret societies, it used to be like the way that most humans are raised is, just grow up and be a good person
Right.
and make good decisions.
Yeah.
Where the secret societies want to capture that. And they're like, well, first you have to be a good person. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Then you have to go out and do these good things that are deemed good by this group of people. Like, it's not a freedom. Where God to me is kind of like a freedom to find out who you are.
Yeah.
It's more of a militant way
Yeah.
of becoming a good person.
We're gonna tell you that you're.
We're
a
going
good
to tell you what
Other
works.
human beings are gonna tell you what's
Yeah.
good and what's not.
Yeah, right? And that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we screw everything up.
Yeah, because man is
Yeah.
so flawed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like what the pastor said the other day about, why do we think we have solutions to things we've screwed up?
Yeah.
Like maybe
yeah.
the problem is beyond our human capacity.
Right. Well, that would make sense. I mean, that would definitely placate into having a god, and you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just, with the whole government overreach thing, I'm at a point lately where I'm just like, I'm so sick of it.
So let's do the flip side. What do you think government overreach? If you're the kind of person who doesn't believe that is a problem, why wouldn't you believe that's a problem?
Them trying to control every aspect.
Yeah, why wouldn't you believe that's a problem? That it's okay. I wonder. Like, those are the questions.
Because they, a lot of people feel like, well, they protect us and there's security involved, and I'm like, no, it's control. Okay. You can protect yourself. It's like I was saying, you have to. When I was a kid, I remember going fishing. And nowadays, you have to have a fishing license. You have to pay money to do something that man has done since the dawn of mankind. Like,
it's
why?
Because but it's all money.
Yeah.
So why in the world wouldn't people see that it's all about money?
I don't know.
A fishing license is what, men are born to do.
You got to pay to drive on a road.
I know.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh.
I know.
That shit drives me crazy. I'm sick of that. That's how our society has been built up to be, and I can even tell a difference in the last 20 years.
Me too, homie.
That it's gotten fucking worse.
Oh, me too. I mean, it's scary the way that everything's a rule, and you're in a box, and you have to do it this way. You gotta
pay to do this, or pay to do that, or pay to do this. I just want freedom.
But you know what? Those are the things when you talk about this sometimes that I'm like, I just feel like it's the individual's choice. Not that we can't, because we do have to pay. I mean,
you just got to figure out a way.
But even like paying to go fishing, stuff like that. It's like, just fuck it, go fishing.
Yeah. I've thought about that.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, or just that. But you're right. We are. It's like so many rules and so many cubes and so many people overreaching and
But you get caught up fishing without a license and you get a ticket.
And then you gotta take off work to go to the ticket. And then what if you miss it? And then the ticket, and they all know that many 75% of people are gonna fuck the ticket off, and then they're gonna get in more trouble. Yeah. They probably already know this.
Just let a man fish. Just let a man have a fucking squirrel.
Yeah.
He also had a raccoon, I believe.
Yeah, but it's New York. I mean,
but so what?
Well, talk about it. Don't just kill the damn thing.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Apparently, they said that they wanted to test it for rabies, and they ended up euthanizing it, both the squirrel and the raccoon. But what he was doing with those
different medication, I think.
Well, yeah, right. Well, what he was doing was his videos, and then some woman in another state called on him.
Yeah.
What?
Karen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She was some bitter old white woman.
Yes, I know. I'm so disappointed in white women. I always say that. So get your shit together, white ladies.
Quit being bitches.
Quit being so uptight.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Well, and he was taking the money or the profits from his videos and whatnot that got monetized, and he was rescuing other animals.
I know. He was helping.
I wonder how that woman feels now. The one that called?
It's probably some teenager.
After she found out they killed the squirrel and the raccoon.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope she feels
like fault is it for the New York people? Because if they would have done just a little research, they would have seen that Peanut is a great...
I can't believe they did it.
I know. Yeah.
Who cares?
I don't know. Because you can't have a rat in an apartment without it having its shots and stuff. That's why they look at it. But still, you could have at least...
He's had it for 7 years.
I know. Well, do they automatically come with rabies? I still don't understand why they killed the damn thing.
I guess they can get rabies. I don't know.
That's so sad.
Just give him a rabies shot and give him back.
Poor Peanut.
Yeah. He was on the video with TMZ, and his wife was behind him, and she was bawling, and he said, I was treated like a drug dealer.
Yeah. That he had to sit outside his house.
And they had to, and his wife was from another country, and so they had to harass her about her immigration papers and all kinds of stuff, dude.
Well, good for him for coming out and saying stuff, because that would piss me off. Yeah. You're going to harass my wife about her immigration status? Get your ass to the border.
Elon posted a meme, and it was like somebody stepping up onto an escalator, like a couple steps up with one foot, and it was going past like the drug cartels and the illegal immigrants, and then their foot was on a squirrel, or you know what I
Peanut
mean?
the
Yeah,
squirrel.
Peanut the squirrel, something like that. And
Which
I was
is
like,
really
dude,
mind blowing.
What is going on?
I don't know. That's so mind blowing.
What is going on?
Because it's like they can focus on these little bitty matters, but not any of the big things or something. It's very odd.
I don't get it.
It's an upside
I don't.
down.
Where are your priorities? Where are your priorities?
Well, back to the freedom thing, I think that's going to be the way out. Is just every little step you can do, especially if she wins. I mean, if she wins, I think I'm going to make some major changes. And like with social media and everything, I don't know, just unplugging and somehow like rooting myself into the basics and what really matters, because it's only going to get worse if she. I mean, it's only going to get worse anyways, but if she wins, I think it's going to get hella worse.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Maybe it won't. She's not going to be running the country.
Right.
It's not going to be her. Yeah.
She's just a puppet.
And some people seem like they're okay with that.
They are. I think they'd rather have a puppet that they feel like the government that they trust so much can control than have Donald Trump who they can't.
Well, you know, I mean, and I understand the establishment, but I mean voters. You would rather have.
Yeah, they would rather have, that's exactly, they'd rather have a puppet that they feel like their government who they believe they can trust. There's so many people that I guess still believe they can trust the government. Why doesn't it go against the grain in them though as a human? It should go against the grain. Like you should be able to tell with your instincts that something's off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I would think that something doesn't feel right, that the COVID thing didn't feel right, that the transgender thing doesn't feel right.
Let me get with my gut here.
Yeah, like taking guns and stuff. I mean, you know, free speech, that especially.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Like guns, I get, because people are like, guns are
bad,
you know.
And they kill
free
people.
Speech,
I get that.
I mean, people are rooting for the team that wants to
censor.
Yeah, government censorship.
What's up with that?
Maybe they don't trust themselves. Maybe they've given up all hope. Maybe that's an education thing too. Maybe
they're so lazy too. They don't want to do anything.
They don't want to have to think about it.
Yeah.
And they just want somebody else to do it for them.
Oh man.
They're not going to be useful.
Free speech.
Free speech.
I'm all about free speech.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's wild. I do love Joe Biden and how he gives no F's anymore because he's not running.
I know.
And he just does the most outlandish.
What did he do?
The baby stuff. The baby feet in his mouth. That's weird. But
that
like other than
so
that,
weird.
yeah, that's very strange. Other than that, like he comes out and says crazy off the wall shit.
Yeah, but he
is not helping her campaign. Yeah, I know. He's not helping her campaign. I think it's a lot of people are suspecting that he's like secretly kind of getting back at the entire crew.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's just lost
He's
it.
dumb as hell and he just lost his mind.
Yeah.
So he's continuing to talk crazy.
But I love it.
Have you noticed how hard they're pushing to say Trump is losing his mind?
Yeah. Nancy Pelosi's already spitting out the 25th Amendment if he wins the election. She's already
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Because he's losing his mind.
It's crazy. Hopefully she'll die before he gets in there.
Dude. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and actually, she like, when she was doing that, she was kind of like, you want to be like, spit it out. She seems like she's losing
She is. I actually saw an interview, and this was probably 6 months ago or so, where she was doing that. She was on that weird, like, they're old.
Yeah, they're
Stay home. Eat something at, like, noon, and then again at, like,
Go
3
to the beach,
p.m.
like Joe.
Then, hang out with your grandkids. Enjoy the $1 million
Just not while
mansion.
you're running the country.
Yeah. I mean, the reason they're short-wired, or the reason that they keep messing up is because they're so old. Their brains are tired.
Super old, man.
Right?
Super old.
So I don't know why they keep
clawing. We are prepared to invoke the 25th Amendment against Donald Trump.
I did not see her say that.
Oh, dude.
That's wild.
She's so wild.
Yeah, well, that was one of my points, too, is like watching them try to flip the script after 4 years of pretending that Joe Biden was sane, and now they're going to call the president Donald Trump.
Makes your head want to explode.
It makes me angry.
Yeah, it makes your head want to explode.
It makes me feel like a fucking crazy Trump cultist.
Yeah, yeah, right.
It makes me feel like.
And she's got lawyers on standby, ready to file lawsuits. You know, I mean, this is going to be a shit show. This is going to be.
So on that note, you know, how do we keep our sanity? I mean, we will because we're rooted in God.
Yeah, everybody's got to, I guess.
But I don't.
But
think
and this
so.
is another thing, is like,
I don't think everybody.
say Trump wins, is George Soros's Antifa coming out to play or what? Because
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna unleash, pay people, go start this riot, go start that riot.
School shootings, all kinds of stuff.
Jorge Soros.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, that's the problem. That's why I really don't believe in my heart he's going to be able to win. I mean, because there's just so many powerful entities like George Soros or the World Economic Forum, or I mean, even China and their sources and resources here that are infiltrated. I mean, there's just so many giant cover-ups and evil players and the Epstein list and this list and I mean, if that shit comes out, dude,
bro,
I don't think so, man. I think they're gonna do everything in their power they can to keep their names out of the limelight like that, you know? Yeah. Well,
and Nancy Pelosi says she's got the old Obama's AG, Eric Holder. He's kind of at the helm of the whole lawsuit thing if Trump starts saying
who is that? I don't know anything about him.
Eric Holder, he's the old AG general, Attorney General of Obama, and he's one of Obama's big boys.
Yeah.
So
but they keep using the same
ready.
people.
Yeah.
Okay, but guys, anybody that is listening to this is not going to vote for Trump. Don't you think it's strange that they keep using the same evil players? I mean, they're all tied up together.
Well, dude, that's like I tagged you in that Michael Franchise, my Bob Boss guy, or the old Capitone for I forget what family, but he had that video where he was connecting marriages of people in the government who are married to this person, and this is their niece, and their niece is married here, and cousins,
and Pelosi,
and he's like, dude, this is mafioso shit.
Totally.
Right here.
Candace Owen is saying a lot of that
mafioso shit.
Yeah, she believes,
so they're all connected in some way or another.
Well, and like it always goes all the way back to those first few families that we talk about, the Rockefellers.
Yeah.
And it always ties all the way back, or the
far.
queens and queens in England.
Which
you
is
know
fascinating.
What I mean? So fascinating.
It's like George Carlin says, it's a big old club and you ain't in it.
Exactly.
I love that. I love when you do that.
Well, we got to make our own club. We're making our own club, and I feel like that's what Trump and all these people are trying to do, is make the good version of government. You know?
It's just wild how they're all connected and and all that jazz. And I was trying to explain the other night about the CIA and how the CIA started to, we were talking about it, started using Charlie Manson to infiltrate the hippie movement. And make them look like psychopaths back in the day using LSD. Because the hippie movement were actually peace and love, and the government was like, no, we can't have that. We need big war business.
And they used LSD for war. That was one of the reasons they were trying to use it on society, is because they had been studying it for so long.
They were trying to MK Ultra, and they were using Charlie Manson and his homies to start some big. Look at these hippies. These hippies, look what they did.
They're
evil
terrible. Hippies.
They're terrible.
So I think that the more that I've studied, the more I realize that a lot of this is obviously on purpose and put into place. And if it's not on purpose and put into place, or, decades and decades upon decades of government secrets and the way that they have all these secret projects and all this stuff, then it's taking the most talented people in the world and trying to get them on their way up.
Yeah, like you were saying.
Yeah, trying to
catch them on the come up.
Catch them on the come up, so that they can now work for the society.
Look, we've noticed this guy's built this business where people can order books online.
And we're gonna get him.
Let's catch him and get him on our side.
And they have like a lot of, like I always say, the Bezos guy. He created the CIA's latest model for image reading and data collection. It all goes back to DARPA and data collection, and the government took his genius idea,
catching data on the rest of the population. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't think about it? Yeah.
No, I'd heard a little bit.
So think about that some more and look into it. But that's the whole idea was that, and that's why I say, like, in the weirdest future, if things went really sideways, they could take all of the data in just areas of a population and get rid of them.
Yeah.
Here's all the people that believe this. This is what they do. This is what they believe. We know this because we've collected data over them for the last 25 years. We're getting rid of these people.
The intelligence.
Here comes North Carolina flooded. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just never know how deep it goes.
Oh, yeah.
But it was, they got him and the geniuses like him to create those specific websites and things for the government.
They caught the technology boom while it was hitting, like.
Which is weird, because that's why I always wonder about Elon, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like, how did they not get him unless he was
so...
South African and he was just able to see it, you know?
Yeah.
Because he comes from a fucked up apartheid country.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting, man. And he's on the other side.
Well, I think because he
Not
sees
the
that.
Intelligence
Just
side.
like Cubans. There was a lady at the nursery the other day that's Cuban that came in, just a customer.
Oh, a Cuban.
Cuban.
Okay.
What did I say?
I was thinking of Mark Cuban.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Cuba. And she was saying that because she comes from a communist country, she saw this way ahead of time. And she was, of course, big Trumped out. She was like, I am voting for Trump. Our whole family's voting for Trump because we come from this country. We can see what they're doing. Yeah. So it is so interesting, though. I don't know.
That is so wild. Well, that's why, you said Cuban. I was thinking Mark Cuban because he's over here. This guy is just so jealous of Elon. You know, he says the stupidest. Yeah. He looks like Frankenstein if Frankenstein was an actual just normal human.
Yeah, without like the nut and bolt and the thing. That's true.
But he's out there just blabbing and talking trash constantly about Elon and Trump, you know, and it's like, I don't know. I listen to PBD podcast and he thinks that Mark Cuban's going to end up running for president on the Democratic side one day.
Oh, no.
But I'm like,
again.
I think he's just jealous. He sounds like a jealous bitch.
Yeah. I try not to pay. He gets on my nerves. But I did see a little clip of him and Dana White talking to a couple of other people. But yeah, again, those kind of billionaires, to me, it should seem really obvious to everyone that there's a reason why they're on her side.
Yeah.
And I guess it's not necessarily that way, but I think most people can be like, oh, why would all these billionaires be on her side?
Right.
I mean, Trump doesn't have a bunch of billionaires.
And that's the Democrats. And the Democrats were supposed to be the working man.
Yeah.
And yet now they have all these celebrities and billionaires. So if you're a normal Joe that used to be a Democrat maybe 20 years ago, what are you doing voting for these people?
Right.
Like, can you not see what are you doing voting for these people?
I think those people probably are voting for Trump now. It's the younger generation.
Yeah, there's a lot more people that are starting to...
It's that younger generation that's been MK Ultra since the 90s.
You say that, but I think a lot of young generation is kind of getting savvy and voting for...
Well, they are smart.
They're starting to...
They're super smart people. You know what I mean?
This is why another reason why...
And they're rebellious. We're all rebellious at heart.
They're like, we're getting married. We're going to have 3 kids.
That's right,
and never divorce.
Exactly.
In your face, Mom.
I remember saying that when COVID happened and all the transgender immediately followed and all that stuff. And I was thinking, one of these days, rebellion's going to be monogamy.
Right. One partner.
That's going to be,
It's going to be one partner.
One partner and having as many kids as you want. And then it'll go the other way and then it'll come back.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Well... it seems to me like Trump's appealing more to the, Generation Z lately now.
I hope so.
I think so.
That's what it looks like, and that's why I'm not understanding how supposedly she's neck and neck when every single thing you watch,
I don't buy it.
even on the left, even in the legacy media, they're having to admit that they're neck and neck. You think they want to admit that? If she was at all, it's a bunch of bull crap. He's going to be winning. I mean, they're not going to let him, but he will win.
Well, I think CNN was talking a little bit of smack about Kamala for the flip-flopping back and forth between the Muslim state and the Israeli state.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I watched a clip of that, and which, because that's about war, and so they're all for pro-war, so all of them. CNN, MSNBC, Fox.
Well, and they are, and then, but it's either one or the other. Like, you know, even there's a lot of Christians that are saying, you know, I stand with Israel. I stand with Israel.
Yeah,
I know. But I think, but that's the thing is Trump, to me, in any interview I've seen with him about war, he says, I want it to stop all war.
Yeah.
All war to stop. That we're
which
too
makes me feel better
intelligent
every
to
time
be
I see him
doing
say
this.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
2024, dude, like, come on, man. We should all be living pretty damn peacefully.
and did you know that he got that the whole Israel and Palestine, he got the closest there ever has been to peace.
Yeah,
and
no.
nobody talks about
Yeah,
it.
no.
The Abraham Accords and all that.
At least that was something, dude.
Yes, he got to Jerusalem to be made.
Yeah, when he was like
capital.
He was like doing deals with Saudi Arabia and yeah man.
I know. It's funny because even that knowing those facts, that should alert people too that okay, why wouldn't somebody
maybe this
want
guy's
that to happen?
Yeah, maybe this guy's not so bad.
Right.
I don't know. I don't get it.
And if he's doing those things, and this side of the coin hates that he's doing these really awesome, peaceful things.
Yeah, he's making great deals with the Saudis over here. What a racist!
I know. Well, and like he's now said, you know, he talks about Putin and all that kind of stuff in a positive sort of way that they always say.
Well,
but it's just because he's saying he's diplomatic, and you want someone to be diplomatic.
Yeah, you're not going to overthrow Putin.
And there's no, you're not. And how dare us think that we should?
Yeah, make some deals, have some treaties.
Yeah,
like what are y'all doing? Exactly. You're not going to overthrow Putin.
And then imagine her even dealing with a Putin.
Oh, I know.
It's a mess, dude.
What?
There's no way.
Joe couldn't deal with Putin.
And like we always say, if it was Tulsi or some strong woman running,
I
would feel totally different.
I'd be all for it, dude.
To me, she's making us look like, just giving us a bad name.
Yeah.
Like, this is not the first kind of woman president we want. She's too weak.
No. She's lazy.
She's lazy. Yeah. She hasn't actually ever really fought hard for anything. Very entitled. She's her come up was super easy.
Yeah.
And did you know she's only been married to that Doug Hoffman for like 10 years or something? I don't think she's been married very long.
No, 10 years sounds long to me, but that's...
No, but she's been a single woman all of that time.
But
it's just strange.
That Michael Franchise video was talking about Doug Emhoff being a part of the club.
Oh,
I can't remember how or
and
what.
And his family ties.
Yes.
See, because Candace has been studying her side and has found out that both of her parents had ties in the government in different areas, like Canada, Jamaica. They are linked to a bunch of very, very wealthy white enslavers or whatever, you know. I mean, I don't know. The power just keeps getting put and passed down to other power.
Passed down.
Yeah, which is kind of what they've always done, isn't it?
You know, I guess it is. I didn't really think so when I was younger, but now you start realizing like it's been a long line of lineage.
Because isn't Obama and Bush related too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're there's some kind of cousins, second cousins or something like that. And I remember hearing that like 10, 15 years ago. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So it's just, and then like, you know, you look back and you think about Herbert Walker Bush.
Yes.
George Sr., he was a trip, dude.
Yeah.
He was, then we will have a new world order. He said that in his speech.
The new world order thing is a trip. I mean, they all talk about it. They've talked about it for fucking years.
Yeah.
New world order.
The Bushes were crazy. It was like Prescott Bush.
Yeah.
Was a part of Prescott Bush was like a big time oil tycoon.
Yeah.
And then he was kind of influencing the government, and then his son George Herbert Walker becomes CIA director, then becomes president. You know what I mean? And then Bush Jr. I mean, it was so trippy back in the day because it was George Sr. and then it was Bill Clinton, and then it was George Jr. And I was like, that's so wild, dude.
Why?
It's just wild because it's father son, and then they're they're only one term apart from each other.
Yeah,
weird,
that is
dude.
weird. Yeah.
It's weird. Have you ever seen that video at George Bush Sr.'s funeral where they're all opening that letter?
Yes, I just saw it the other day.
Yeah.
The white
I want to know what's in there.
I know.
I want to know what it is.
It could have just been where the reception was
located.
Yeah.
Probably was.
Probably was just the reception was located somewhere. But I did see it, and
yes.
it was edited very suspiciously.
It's an interesting video.
The way it just slipped out of I don't know, but I do pray. I pray with all of my heart and soul that, you know, we can tap into something positive, that no matter what happens, you know, there's a positive way to handle this, and we need to keep searching ourselves and searching our hearts and keep our country. I just don't, you know, I don't know. I think it might be ruined already. I don't know.
This is why I just want to find peace and meditate and try to enter a different dimension.
Yes.
Eat a little DMT.
Yeah.
You know, talk to some entities.
Just check out altogether.
Yeah. Just check out.
No, but I mean, again, I feel like this might be a pressure cooker situation. I think that, I mean, if you think about the trajectory of society and the technology that's happened and the
technology.
I mean, there's only, it's inevitable that we're going to blow ourselves totally to smithereens.
Well, I think that humans have evolved technologically without evolving spiritually, and I think that's where we're screwing up.
See, and don't you
There's not enough spiritual.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
I agree.
The spiritual evolution that needs to be caught up, and maybe
we should be making
more
of an effort.
Yes.
To evolve spiritually.
But we don't. But people won't do that until they're pressured.
They don't want to do that. They just want to make all this money and control other people.
But the Bible says we're pressed on all sides. We're beaten and pushed down. And that's what makes the diamonds.
I'm all claustrophobic. I'm like, I just want to get out.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. That's it.
We're evolving technologically, but not spiritually.
But not spiritually.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Oh, and I saw Kamala again on some shows. And she was just doing her thing, girl.
Yeah.
I wanted to look up old videos and see if she talked like that before.
Not until this campaign have I ever seen her.
Let's do that, guys. As a group, let's go back in time and all of her presidential races or any of her speeches from prior
to
be
yourself.
2020. Yeah. Let's see how she behaved. I want to see if she behaved that way.
That's another thing with Trump is like he'll go talk to a demographic of people and he still wears a suit. He's still a business guy.
Well, she wears her suit. The bitch don't come out of those suits.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he doesn't
change his personality.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, and that's why you like authentic people.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's authentic.
The authenticity. Gotta have it.
Guys.
It's a must.
It's a
campaign must.
Well, we gotta learn some lessons from this government of ours. Good luck, Russ.
Yeah.
Hopefully we meet back here again on Monday. Also, let's pray about the reactions. Hopefully people won't react all kinds of ways.
Right.
No matter what side,
Well, yeah. I mean, what's going to happen? Is it going to get civil unrest? I hope not. I really hope not.
It did. I watched that movie the other day, that Minneapolis burning movie.
Oh, yeah.
Scary.
Yeah, that's scary.
Really scary. And you felt so bad for those cops in that situation because they were looking out the window going, what country do I live in?
I've never seen anything like this before.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So sad.
That's wild.
I would move so quick you would not be able to ever see me again in Minneapolis.
To the country.
Yeah.
Just get the hell out.
So that's another thing I was thinking about. If everybody keeps moving, maybe that's... It's still some terrible solution, but all the people that have the funny sense of humor like we do that don't need earmuffs, we all live in the South. And then everyone who wants to earmuff.
Civil War.
I know, you're right.
I found out this morning that income taxes started back in 1961 and Lincoln signed it, but it was only supposed to be temporary.
Really?
Income tax.
I think I've heard
so for
that.
86 years.
It's been temporary?
For 86 years, we didn't pay any taxes in this country.
Wow.
It was all off tariffs. And, Trump keeps talking about tariffs.
Right.
Which I don't know a whole lot about. I've been trying to read about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But, the income tax situation didn't start until 1861. And then it was supposed to be temporary. But then William Howard Taft, who I believe was an establishment puppet.
One of the first.
Yeah. In 1913, when our grandfather was born.
Yeah.
Signed in, got rid of the 16th Amendment. ratified the 16th Amendment.
Ratified, I think.
And just to where, I mean, obviously we're paying taxes.
So,
still,
but it wasn't
it's
under the guise of good. It was under the guise of something good. They always wrap it in some kind of a good thing. Like, okay, well, you can't do this, so we'll publicly educate your children.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? It's
You're
like,
busy.
we're going to offer
the whole
you
system.
this stuff. Yeah,
it's the whole system.
I know, but maybe, wow, it's gotten dark outside.
Yeah.
Maybe, again,
good.
I mean, not maybe, for sure, we are going to be transformed as a nation.
Yeah.
And so hopefully, people will maybe tear down the system and rebuild it. Maybe
that's what has to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. Quality of life in California. I heard someone this morning talk about how it's never brought up, nobody ever brings up the quality of life in California and how people are living in California, especially people of color. No one ever talks to brown and black people about their quality of life in California. And I was listening to someone say, if you research the quality of life in California for all people, not any kind of category, but for all people, it's gotten horrific, right? Well, then if it's expensive for the rich people, can you imagine for the poor or for the people that are middle class? And nobody's interviewing those people. Nobody's getting around those people saying, how has your life been affected in the last 4 years?
That's a good question.
Right? So I want to do some thoughts on that. But just the quality of life of California and how that's going to be imposed on us if she wins.
It's a damn shame too, man, because that was such an awesome state.
I know, it's beautiful.
And it's a damn shame, dude. It really is.
Well, they've always led by example.
Yeah.
California is usually one of the first progressive states to change. They've just progressed their way into living hell. So maybe we'll learn from them instead of becoming them.
I don't know. I mean, luckily it's a big state, so maybe people can move to a better part. I mean, there's a lot of terrain and
there is a lot of terrain. Actually,
you really think about it. It's
almost as big as Texas.
I think I think it's bigger than Texas.
Might be bigger. Yeah. But it's interesting because they say that San Francisco and certain parts of California run that entire state.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's where the money's at, I think.
Yeah. Or it used to be anyway.
Yeah.
What was I listening? I was listening to no, it was that Tucker podcast where he was saying it seems like the more money that Silicon Valley brought into California, the worse the living began. The worse the living became.
Yeah. The quality of life.
Yeah, the quality of life. Good.
Yeah.
Lord. Quality of life got worse.
Yeah.
Which is so strange. Like, how does that happen?
Well, because technology is the devil. It's Satan. It's evil.
Devil.
It's Satan, guys. I mean, it seems to be. It says in the Bible that images upon images upon images. That's going to be a sign of the end times.
Well, there definitely needs to be some spiritual growth going on for sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I'm glad that you said that because maybe that is the whole point.
Absolutely.
Snapple.
By the way, that's a pretty dope shirt you got on.
Thank you. This is another one of my...
Where'd you get it?
Classified.
Classified on Etsy.
Classified.
I heard that place is pretty sweet, man. They got some good designs. You guys should check it out.
Totally go check it out.
Classified on Etsy.
Classified. This is my lizardtainment.
Lizardtainment.
Because
they're all
celebrities are lizards.
They're lizard people. You know it.
You know it.
Don't deny it.
Stop freaking pretending like it's not true.
You know it.
You know it's not true, that we shouldn't be living a certain way of life, and we need to get our shit together.
Get it together.
Okay.
All right, then.
Okay, we'll see you after the election.
All right, yeah. Prayers. Prayer warriors.
Come on, prayer warriors.
Deuces.
Oh, Monday night at 6 p.m., we're all saying a prayer.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole world.
Let's do this.
Okay. All right, bye, guys.
Later.